Well, alrighty, fellas. How are we doing today? Yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski. Welcome back to PokeMMO Stream Recap 182, where we see what's going on in the community, play some PokeMMO, and talk about the future of this beautiful game. Today, this is also day 2 of the rebuild series. My plan is to go from 0 Pokeyen all the way up to 20 mil with around 30 days, hopefully before the start of event season in the Halloween event. We're going to go ahead and collect the little bit of Pokeyen we have here as well. I make sure to trade everything off and sell off all my resources ahead of time. I do need to go ahead and pick up an amulet coin now. We're going to go ahead and start our gym rerun. I think today the plan, I actually have a small to-do list somewhere, but I think the plan is going to be gym rerun, start berry farming. We're going to buy our first seeds and actually jump into berry farming, which will be really consistent AFK, you know, profit, progress, etc., etc. We have our amulet coin. I'm going to head over to Nakreen City, where I start my very chill gym run. A lot of people ask, hey, why do you do this gym run and not the other one? I'm aware that there are more efficient and better gym run strategies, but those strats require a different team, a team that I even have made. It's more like those strategies require a lot of item switching, a lot more mechanics, and a lot more activity. And for me personally, I really enjoyed this gym run. It's really easy, it's really brain dead, and it makes you 300k in an hour. And for me, that's enough. If you want to put in more effort to make 400k or so, I think that's awesome and more power to you. But in my personal opinion, my personal preference rather, putting in like 500% effort for like 100k more Pokeyen just isn't really worth it to me. You can do better things, and I recommend them if you want to. Play however you want to play. That's the message of the day, of course. Let's go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to pop my amulet coin. We'll get things nice and started. Should be able to lead this against with Tortle and Cottony. 622k. So I did a bit of payday pickuping off camera. That's the only thing. The only thing I did was about 2 hours or so of payday pickuping. So that should be the only Pokeyen you guys missed. I also really do want to get into breeding for profit today if I have leftover Pokeyen. The biggest problem with starting from scratch is that you don't have capital to use to make more money, right? I actually saw a comment from someone recently, and I understood where he was coming from, but I disagree with him politely. Someone was basically like, they were like, hey, I disagree. I'm phrasing this charitably. Hey, I disagree. How you warn people and you say, hey, don't spend down to 0 Pokeyen. Don't let your cash stack like go super down, etc., etc. And I always say, the reason why because his argument was like, you can do gym reruns, you can do trainer reruns, you can do a lot of things to make a ton of Pokeyen, right? And I get where he's coming from. You can always start from scratch in Pokemon and make a ton of Pokeyen, which is awesome. There's a bunch of pure yen methods as opposed to waiting for something to sell, which is really nice. However, when you don't have capital, you lose access to things, and you lose options, and you lose possibilities, you lose chances for flips, you lose chances for breeding for profit. You can't spend money to make money if you don't have money, you know? So you can start from scratch and make a lot of pure yen, which is amazing, but the best money-making methods require you to already have some capital. Things like shiny flipping, things like normal flipping, things like breeding for profit, etc., etc. So I think that's really important to encourage players to keep a few million Pokeyen, at least 1 mil, maybe I try not to dip under 1 mil. Maybe the average player around 300k, whatever number fits best for you. I mean, that's the important thing, but whatever best fits your playstyle and best fits the money you're able to bring in. It's a really dumb lawsuit. Yeah, I'm not a lawyer. We're talking about the Palworld lawsuit. So I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an expert. Please go check out someone who is. Check out a professional opinion. But from my understanding, I will take from what I've seen and lay it out in a simple stance. Basically, the Palworld lawsuit, from my understanding, they're not suing for copyright, right? They're suing for patents or whatever. And the argument is that Nintendo has a patent on a video game mechanic. The fact that you can have patents on mechanics feels insane. So they apparently have a patent on a mechanic, which means they like own the rights to it, on the mechanic, the idea of throwing a circular item to capture a monster in an overworld. They just own that mechanic. That feels like so broad to me that it's kind of insane. And so, like, that's kind of wild to me. There's really good examples of this in the past as was it Bandai Namco? There was some company that invented way back in like I want to say 70s, 80s, or 90s, one of those eras, right? They invented video games in loading screens. If you ever played Tekken 5, I think you might know about this. There were essentially back in like the 80s and 90s on the NES or whatever, there were really long load times to certain games, right? Like 30-second to like minute and a half, 2-minute, whatever load times, right? So what they would do is they would like let you play like Frogger or something, which is really fucking cool in the load screen. The problem was the company that invented that idea patented it, right? So then they just couldn't fucking do it. So no other video game could take that idea and that interesting, cool idea and put it into their games for like 30 years. And then by the time the patent wore off, load times had been like gotten rid of essentially. So it's actually like really sad. Like, I feel like, once again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't, the idea of being able to patent mechanics in games seems really, really sad to me. That kind of seems like the ability to patent chords in music, and from my understanding, that's not possible. Like, you go to copyright law and you like try to fight over that, like how comparable something is, but like, I don't think you can patent like a fucking progression line of chords or like a line of chords in music. You can't like, I don't know enough about music to really comment on it, but you can't do that, right? I don't know of another field where you can patent a mechanic like that. That seems so wild. That seems wild to me. Like, imagine if Fortnite patented the idea of like 100 people dropping into like an overworld and fighting, right? We would lose so many games because of that. We would lose so many battle royales, which I know a lot of people are like, oh, good riddance. I don't know, but you know, but it's sad. I think it's a sad thing whenever you're restricting. I think being able to take something and transform it, and you could take a simple idea like that and very much creatively transform it. The idea of limiting that entirely is insane, right? It's kind of like, okay, I make PokeMMO Guides, right? Imagine if I try to like put a patent on making PokeMMO Guides, or a patent on like doing top 5 lists or some shit. Like, that's horrible. People should be able to add their own perspective, do their own thing. It's so difficult. Like, it is difficult to copy. To copy something has to be very, very intentional almost. You can't really copy something on accident. It's, I don't know. That's my perspective. It's kind of crazy to me, but it really does affect, all this stuff affects PokeMMO and affects, like, we are like a legally weird-ish game, I guess, to some extent. So I think it's important to talk about. I've been thinking about this a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna start saving Leppas at some point or what my plan is, but I think I'm already thinking about next year's Shiny Wars, hilariously, and like strategies and plans. I think we saw so much success, the most success we saw, and I feel like I always want to do this during competitions, but I always just like get bored and want to go egg hunt and do rares. I feel like just spamming ×5 hordes and just spamming maximum amount of encounters as possible, I feel like that's the strat. I feel like I think just stocking up on as many Leppas as possible and sitting at a horde spot and just clicking the button over and over and over again, that might be my ideal strategy for next war. And I did that a lot this war, but I could do it even more. And I think, like, to the point where, like, I feel like it's not worth egg ticking. Hilarious, which sounds, that might be mathematically wrong, but I feel like the switching back and forth, the running back and forth, if you miss a tick, having to make the eggs, I actually feel like it's just better to just sit there and spam hordes over and over and over again. I feel like that would be, just maximum numbers. Yeah, eggs weren't the play. I watched Danny with 6Y's video talking about Shiny Wars, and he had some really good points, and it's kind of crazy how much planning. We only had like 2 weeks to prepare, to be fair. We didn't have much time, but like, it's crazy how wrong we were and how long it took us to figure out the best strategies, right? We got a lot of the best strategies correct, but something he said that is totally correct, and I even at the beginning of the event, I was like, I don't know if Mysterious Balls are going to be that good. I feel like Shedinja is going to be better, but nobody really did Shedinja. Shedinja was a little too slow. Danny, I think everybody kind of discovered it took us until like the event was 2 months long, right? And I think it took players until literally the last, I want to say the last like 2 weeks, maybe 1 to 2 weeks, to realize how insane fossils are. Fossils will probably have to get super nerfed. That was like a super point of discussion. It seems like fossils were like the strat, and people were doing this thing. I talked about it vaguely in stream recaps before, but I want to explain it in greater detail. People were doing this thing called fossil running, which is similar to essence running in old school RuneScape, or like nature rune running, right? Which is essentially, you could be a new player, and this veteran player who's doing fossils in Shiny Wars, he's just trying to pop as many fossils as possible. So he's gonna pop 5 fossils, trade those, if they're not shiny, trade those 5 fossil Pokemon over to a new player who is fossil running for him, and that player just gets those free fossil Pokemon. They get all the 1x31s, 2x, 3x, whatever the IVs may be. Like, if they're valuable, they get all of them, right? And the only thing the veteran player cares about is being able to pop more fossils and get shiny chances. So it was like new players were making like 1 mil Pokeyen an hour, just by being. But you have to be able to quickly trade. If you're not quickly trading, these fossil, I guess not runners, but the fossil people who want the runners, they do not want you. You have to be a fast trader. There is no excuse. If you are slowing these people down, you are defeating the purpose of them draining all the Pokeyen. So, but you have to be an extremely fast trader. But if you're a fast trader and you use control left click and you're on, you probably can't do it on mobile. I would be shocked if you're fast enough. But you could make so much money. Yeah, people were making like 1 mil an hour just collecting free fossil Pokemon essentially. Now, you're not really making any progress in the game at that point. You're not really like making any encounters or whatever, but you're getting a ton of money. So I thought fossil running was super, super interesting, and we'll see how fossils turn out next Shiny Wars. Okay, I wanted to talk about this forum post because this is unbelievably GigaChad. So this is on the forum post regarding the Shiny Wars results. We have like the team announced like who won or whatever, right? This is a post from Junlucky, who is like probably the best shunter PokeMMO, unbelievably dedicated. He has every single Shalfa starter in the game. So Shalfa Bulbasaur, Shalfa Charmander, Shalfa Squirtle. He has like 40 plus rare shinies. I think he has every single shiny starter in the game. Like this guy is the best shunter in the game, but he's lesser known because he's a Chinese player in the Chinese community. So that language barrier, we don't always get to see like what he's up to, but he's insane. He posted, he Google translated and like is learning English to be able to talk to us like a fucking GigaChad. This event was very strenuous. Can we award prizes to the top 3 teams? ? I think that every member of the top 3 team deserves to win. He was on the winning team. This is not someone in 2nd or 3rd place asking for. He won. He didn't have to do this. Like he didn't need to advocate for 2nd and 3rd place getting something. He won. He's like. He could just ride off into the sunset. This is so unbelievably thoughtful and unbelievably GigaChad. Man went out of his way to fucking learn. There is so often people who are the best at something get a little egotistical and a little like psychotic. To see someone like Junlucky be this like thoughtful, caring towards his fellow competitors, to not like most people in the situation would be like enjoying their win. And the first thing he commented, he didn't gloat. He didn't say, hell yeah, we worked so hard. He didn't talk about his team. He didn't even mention his victory. He won. And he didn't even mention his victory in the results page. Like, that's crazy. I don't know. That is like literally one of the most GigaChad things I've ever seen. Just immediately what he was worried about was the rest of the community, the competitors in 2nd and 3rd place. That was so crazy to me, in my opinion. What did 2nd and 3rd place get for Shiny Wars? Wow, what a great question. 500 RP. Imagine spending. Also, I have stats coming out later for how much Pokeyen Team Mister spent on Shiny Wars. I'll give you a teaser and say it was over 5 billion. They spit in their eye. Yeah, pretty much. Team Mister collectively spent over 5 billion. It's actually more than that, but you'll see the video later. Go check it out. Around 5 p.m. today. 5 billion Pokeyen was spent collectively. And you know what you get for 800 hours played over a 2-month period? 800 hours and 5 billion spent. You get a beautiful 1.2 million worth of RP. Oh my goodness. Thank you, PokeMMO devs. Thank you for gracing us with your precious rewards. Now, in fairness, I'm not trying to like, this is too one-sided, right? In fairness to the PokeMMO devs, this is literally the most RP they've ever given out for an event. Because they're giving 500 RP to 30 to 60 players in total, this is actually the most RP they've ever given out. So that's kind of interesting and kind of like, it's something to talk about, and it's not fair to just shit on them. I understand, and you should understand why they came to this conclusion, why they were weary about it, and like, you should understand it, right? That doesn't mean it's okay or it's like the right solution, but you should understand how that answer came to be, right? So that's the full story. Yeah, I feel like that's the perfect solution, Crochet. I super agree. I really hope they add a 2nd and 3rd place vanity in the future. That would make it all worth it in the end. I think exclusive vanities, 100%. I don't know why. I feel like the easy solution is have it so that 1st place gets like an entire 3-piece outfit. You get like a hat, you get like wings, and you get like pants or boots or whatever. And then 2nd place gets like only the hat or only the top, right? And then 3rd place gets like only the legs, or like, I feel like just piecing it out like that seems so much more reasonable. That seems so much That's, yeah, getting top 3 at all is insane. Like, this was the top 1,500 shunters in the entire game, and people put so much blood, sweat, and tears into this. It was unbelievable. People literally burned through, like, 10 years of gathering Pokeyen, of developing capital, like, years and years and years of saving up Pokeyen, blown in 2 months for this event. I feel so... you guys are glazing me today. I feel so happy. Everybody's like, oh my god, Pat already has 800K? Like, that's crazy? Dude, I haven't even played that much. I mean, yesterday, to be fair, yesterday I played, I think, 6 hours in total. So it was 4 hours on stream, 2 hours off stream. Today I've played nothing so far. So, like, you know, I don't know. I'm making solid progress. I feel like decent progress that most people can make. 6 hours in a day is a lot. I think the average player averages, right, around 2 hours a day. Obviously, some people can play 10. Some people can't play any until the weekends. Like, it's going to be dependent per person. But I think around 2 hours a day is probably average-ish for Pokemon players. I could be wrong. I'm going to try to stick to around 4 to 6 a day and just show you what you could do. And then if you want to subtract it to a 30, you know, adjust that to how much you could make. That's up to you, or how much hours you can play, etc., etc. Should players that gave up or didn't score be allowed in the next war, since it looks like there was about 600 players with no score? I don't know. Not allowed is pretty harsh, in my opinion. I do think that there were a lot of players that I heard. Like, there were players who put like 200 hours in and just like didn't get a shiny at all. And that happens. That sucks. Having said that, I think the biggest thing is let everybody, I don't know, just first come, first serve, let everybody in. I don't want to bar anybody from entering. That's kind of crazy. But it's more about the teams. It's not I don't want the devs to have control over that. It's more like the team's responsibility. I said this before. I was disappointed at how quick a lot of players gave up, but I can't blame them. Not many humans are not many people are psychopaths like me who want to play a video game for 10 plus hours a day for 2 months, right? And do the same activity in that game and like hunt the meta spot that might not even be a shiny they enjoy, right? I come from RuneScape competitions. I'm used to that, but a lot of players don't want that, don't enjoy that. And they didn't really know how much they didn't like that and how much the extent of it until they tried it. Like, this was the first ever official shiny war, right? A lot of people just didn't know. A lot of people we just needed to learn, and that's okay. This was a very, very good, for a learning experience, this went pretty well. It could have been a lot worse, in my opinion. Could have been a lot worse. Yeah, I think that covers my thoughts on that. I think if there's any other points, I'll let you know. It's a good, I mean, it's a good, I'm glad you asked that question, because I think we talked about, but I don't think anyone should be like barred from entering. I think it's a little extreme in my opinion. But I think teams will draft a lot more selectively and focus on collective goals. The biggest problem with this war was we only had 2 weeks to prepare for Shiny War, which was insane, but it was also just, I mean, the timing of how it being approved by the devs and et cetera, and worked out all the kinks and such. But next year we'll have we'll probably organize teams ahead of time, and we'll ask players, hey, how many hours can you play a week? How many hours can you play a month? How many hours, you know, how much money do you have? How much are you willing to spend? Like, there's a lot more questions you can ask this next year in preparation to prepare for better teams. This year, the main thing that like my team asked was like, what percentage of effort are you going to be putting in? The only question I answered was percentage of effort, and I put 75% because I stream and I you know, do PokeMMO for work or whatever, and it's honestly like it drains a lot of energy. Like, hilariously, this sounds very privileged, so I apologize. You know, feel free to disagree. I'm really lucky. I get to, you know, I lost Shiny Wars, but at least I got to like play the game, you know, do my job, stream, whatever, right? But if I worked like a job where I didn't have to talk all day and it wasn't as draining, it feels fucked to say, but like, you know what I mean? It depends. I could sit there and I could grind PokeMMO over and over, but like, I was exhausted. There were like streaming versus not streaming PokeMMO is way different for sure. Where am I going? My brain totally cooked. Wow, Shiny Wars really cooked me. The point is, I knew that I could only do around 75% as opposed to 100%. That was sort of my main thing. So I was not planning for 16-hour days. I was freshly married. I was planning for 10-hour days, which is what I stuck to. So I'm happy with it. I'll just flat out say this. I think that this gem has the best visuals in the entire game. Like Blackthorn, the lava in Blackthorn City in Johto, I straight up think that this has the best visuals in all of PokeMMO, like in any gym. I think it's fucking so sick. Okie dokie, fellas. That is the gym rerun taken care of, up to 900k, man. Day 2, just barely starting. We're already at 100k. What I want to do next is I want to start berry farming. So I have to remember exactly what seeds I need and how much of them, and I'll try to show you guys what I do. This isn't exactly a berry farming guide, but if you want to do the very basics of Leppas, this probably can get you there. We're going to head over to Unova, That's the best place to do this at. And you do need a fair bit of upstarting Pokeyen capital to jump into this. Okay, let me double check to make sure I understand what seeds you need to make the Lepus. I think it's the ones that I have the bigger stacks of. Then I'll go ahead and buy a bunch more of them. So it's one of each, I believe, right? So one plain bitter, one plain sweet, one very spicy. Does anyone in chat know how many of each seed you need to do the first plant? I think what I'm going to do is just buy 200 of each seed. And that will let me know how many of each I need per run. I think it's around 156 or so. So I basically need 141 very spices to go ahead and buy from this stack so I can actually buy this stack outright. That's going to cost me 252k. So we're spending a lot of our Pokeyen. We are spending money to make money here, fellas. This is the definition of it. Next up is plain sweet. Definition of spending money to make money is berry farming. That'll be 200 minus 44. It's 166, right? So 156. Bad at math. Buy this stack so I can get the right number. 156. Beautiful. And then finally, plain bitter. We just need 95. Plain bitter. Go buy 95 of these. Okay. Whatever leftover yen today, I'm happy to use on breeding for profit, which is really exciting, honestly. I'm really going to enjoy that, so we'll see how that goes. Did you clear GTL before this month? Kind of. I've kept the track so far. If I see anything that sells that wasn't from this challenge, most things are like the sale has ended. I think I might have, yeah. Most things. There's some things that are still listed, but if any of these sell during this challenge, I'll essentially just, I'll be aware of that because it's pretty easy to track for the most part. So far, we're a few days in. I'll just keep that in mind, like, and send that money over to an alt account. But let's go back over to the berry farming spot. We have all our berries that we need. So what I would do here is I would bike over. I do this patch, this giant patch over here, and then we also go do Abundant Shrine, which I'll show you in a sec. So it's pretty easy. It memorized what I planted, so you just do this. Then you hit water as well. There is actually, you can hotkey the water thing, right? What's it called? Pale or something? There's some key item you can hotkey, which does make it a little faster, which is like pretty relevant in my opinion. I think it's like a decent bit faster, arguably. Could be over here. Spray. Yes, the spray duck. That's what it's called. So we plant our seed, then we press F to spray duck it, and that's you don't have to go through a text box, right? So you can actually there is a mechanical dap when it comes to berry farming, which is very funny to me. You can get decently good at it. And then I'm going to set a timer on my phone to essentially come check these in about 8 to 10 hours, and then I'll water them once more in around 8 to 10 hours, and then around 24 hours or so later, they'll be done. Around those time estimates. And then you should make around, I think it's around 120k profit per run of this, and it takes around 30 minutes or so. It's kind of slow with it, but we'll see. Just learned berry farming over the course of Shiny Wars. Still trying to get the hang. This is a very, very simple method of it. There's others self-sustainable and great guides out there for it, but this is what I've been picking up. It's a really, really good, passive, consistent moneymaker. There is a little bit of a high risk, medium reward when it comes to berry farming, because if I forget for whatever reason to water these, or my power goes out or internet or whatever, and for whatever reason I can't water these and an emergency comes up and these die, you lose out on like a lot of, I would lose out on like 600k, right? So if I do 6 successful berry farms in a row and then I fuck up one, well, there goes down the drain all my profit, right? So it is kind of, especially if you have alt accounts. I've known people who like had alt accounts, like 6 alt accounts they would do berry farming runs on, and then one day, bro, if they just miss the batch for whatever reason, they lose out on like a week's profit. Like, it can be really, really, really scary. Oh yeah, I lost 4.5 million Pokeyen one day on berries. Yep, it can be a big gut punch. All right, for the Abundant, we're done with this patch. So for the Abundant Shrine patch, you want to head over. You can just fly directly to Abundant Shrine if you've been there, which is super nice. Then you have to basically just do these patches. They're a little more scattered all around, but yeah. Also, if you don't want to do these patches because you don't want to have that extra risk or whatever, that's also fair. Keep in mind, we start with 200 of each seed, so we'll be able to cleanly see how many we need per run. It is a lot. You do need a lot of Pokeyen input to be able to get the output, right? Like, for example, you have to pay like 600k Pokeyen to get what's it called, right? To get 120k. If you were to buy a Pokemon for 600k and then flip it for a 120k profit, I would be like, you know, it's solid, but I don't know if that's worth the risk. Like that would actually be a thing of concern. Especially if you could lose 100% of it, right? So I think berry farming is really good and it's really consistent, but sometimes it's a little, I think it was overrated for a while, and I feel like now it's become properly rated. I feel like with alt accounts, it's a lot higher risk, but with alt accounts, I feel like you really shine through the profit of berry farming as well. And if you don't want to learn too much, berry farming is pretty low skill ceiling in terms of knowledge to a decent extent, to be fair as well. All right, our berries are taken care of. We're going to let them grow for around 8 hours or so. I think next up, we're either going to do a trainer rerun or just jump into XP training. I really want to start doing some XP training for profit. I have some interesting ideas with that. First things first, let's just do a trainer rerun. I feel like I like doing the consistent Pokeyen every day, and that's going to be a huge part of, it's going to be a huge part of the series, but I also want to show you exciting and different and interesting money-making methods. But I think just encouraging players, gym rerun, trainer rerun, berry farming. If you just do those 3 things, for like 90% of players, if you spend 2.5 hours, which is like, to be fair, most people's playtime, but if you did like those 2.5 hours every day, you would have more Pokeyen than you would know what to do with, for most players in my opinion, right? If you do a gym run every single day, it's 300k. Berry farming is 120, right? Is trainer reruns around 200k? I think something like that, pure cash. Might even be more. You'd make 620,000 Pokeyen profit every single day just for like 2.5 hours of whatever you want to do, you know? I think that's pretty amazing. So, you know what? Before we go do trainer reruns, though, let's go do a few breeds for profit. We're at 400k cash. I'm going to go buy an amulet coin for the trainer rerun. And then we'll also go do a breed or 2 for profit over in Unova. Let's see. Let's go over the Unova Daycare. Breeding for profit can be insane. It can have insane potential, but you have to be careful. You can also lose a lot of money if you make a mistake. So we have to do this kind of we'll have to, with less capital, I have to be very picky about the breeds that I do and what Pokemon I buy for the breeds. Alrighty, this is actually the perfect time to breed for profit. I always tell people the best time to breed for profit is after some PvP changes, because recently UU had some massive PvP changes where they like unbanned a ton of stuff. Blissey is in UU, bro. Togekiss, Haxorus. There are some crazy Raikou, Lucario. Like, there are some crazy mons in UU right now that are kind of taking over and have some insane win rates. Look at this. 57, 56, 57, 60, 58. Staraptor is crazy right now. We're going to breed some of the good UU stuff. Yeah, this is going to be... Yeah, I think Lucario is a good one to go ahead and jump into. You can find some really cheap Riolus because people don't sort by egg group because they're baby Pokemon. So if you take the time to like find a super cheap Riolu, people don't realize you can like breed it or whatever. So I'd have to like buy a Riolu and then level it up to get its happiness up to, you know, breed it or whatever. But it might be worth it. Like the price difference is 11k versus like 4k or whatever. It's pretty drastic. What if I look for... What if I do 31 speed on a Riolu and then do like 20 plus in these stats? 8k listed 13 minutes ago. This is exactly what you want to see. And it's naughty nature. Arguably, you want to like Everstone that over. Oh man, that is exactly the kind of breed you want to see. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to keep that. We're going to find a breeder, a Ditto Ford, I think. I'm going to go ahead and just find the breeder now, and then we'll go get its happiness up. I can show you guys a quick happiness trick that you can do as well. But let's go find a breeder for it first. We'll also calculate the cost. So I paid, what, 8k for this? Oh, that was so cheap. 8k for this, right? Let's also check. Let's do Ditto. Has to be a Ditto because it is a male. We need a Ditto breeder. We want 31 attack, 20 plus... 20 plus, 20 plus, and we'll brace the speed. 20k is pretty much going to be our best bet, I feel like. I think this one has better stats. They're both the same price, but this one has better stats, just barely. So we'll pick that up. So plus 20k. So far, we've spent around 28k, and we can even see ahead of time, right? we can see ahead of time how much this will sell for. So far we've paid 28k. We'll pay plus 20k for 2 braces. So far this breed is going to be 48k, right? Let's see what a Riolu with these stats sells for. And this is this is not including if we get a good nature. Well, this one's adamant, so that might, but dude, look, I'm actually going to make like 200k Pokeyen on this breed. This is actually going to be a disgusting, dude, I say this all the time. When a Pokemon changes tiers, the room for profit gets ridiculous. It just gets unbelievable because there's a massive surge in demand for people who didn't have these comps made. Let's go get the happiness up on this. Do I have to level it up at like daytime? I'm gonna hilariously, oh my god, nighttime just started. I'm gonna have to wait like 4 hours. That's the downside, I guess, but that's okay. It's still worth it because the profit will be patient. We'll have to finish this breed later, but it's worth it, okay? It is worth it. I know it seems funny. So what we'll do now is, firstly, you want to lead with your Riolu out of your, like, have that be your what's it called Pokemon? Because it gains happiness passively when it's following you. You want to put a Soothe Bell on it to increase happiness. And then what I always do for happiness, you can do this once a day. Once every, I don't know if it's in-game day or IRL day, but once a day, you can head over to Kanto, head over to Gary's sister. Go flirt with Gary's sister, your rival, based in true. And then she will groom a Pokemon of yours, and it will increase its happiness. Watch its happiness go from 19% up to 49 just for free once a day, which is nice. Oh my god, I just realized chat was trying to teach me. Wait, this is so funny. Chat was trying to teach me about another happiness spot where you can do that trick. I've never gone here. Bro, I have 8,000 hours in this game, and I've never been to the underground tunnel in Sinnoh. I've literally never stepped foot. People always talk about it. I've never been here. I'm like doing the storyline 8,500 hours in, bro. Holy shit. If I have to fight my way through a bunch of shitty trainers, I might as well. I'm gonna go grab a Meowth really quick and just payday through all. Look at this little metal Pikachu. I've never seen that. I'm gonna grab a Meowth really quick and just payday through all these little gremlins so I can access. There's apparently another little happiness trick you can do down here. All right, I think it's this guy. He runs the Pokemon Salon. It costs 500 Pokeyen. Ugh, steep price. Here, let's see. Yes, please. Give Riolu the haircut. He needs an amazing fade. Okay, hear a little noise. What? Wait. Bro, he actually scammed me. Wait, wait, 2%? Is it... Wait, is it more if, like, it's low or something? Get scammed? Wait, this guy, I just got scammed. Wait a minute. Well, guess we have to get Riolu's happiness up the good old-fashioned way by XP training it and leveling up, which I'll just go ahead and go do. My dog is squeaking his toy in the background. I'm gonna go ahead and just, I'll just go... payday pickup. I'll payday pickup over at Island 5. I think the Pokeyen per hour at Island 5 payday pickup is actually worse than Dragon Spiral Tower, but you get more pure yen and less of it is in items. I've just been testing it out recently. We'll run back and forth here for a little bit. So I'll just payday pickup for a little bit with Meowth and just get some XP on my Riolu and try to get the happiness up. Okay, we have to wait until daytime to actually evolve this Riolu. He is at the right happiness to do so, so we're gonna go ahead and throw him in the PC for the time being. We'll finish that breed a few hours later, maybe even off stream, unfortunately, but we already know the cost for it and stuff. We already know what it'll come out to, so it'll be a nice little breed for profit. Next up, let's go do we talked about it, let's go do our trainer rerun. Trainer runs are just super, super comfy, super easy for the most part. Just get that taken care of. I do have to bring the forum guide. I don't have the trainer rerun memorized much at all. So it is very much, it's really just me following the guide along as I do it, you know, in real time. It's pretty easy. Alrighty. I don't do a whole lot of like IRL leaning content. But we got this Pokemon Halloween advent calendar. And I, as the brain dead collector, my wife bought this for me as a gift like a year or two ago. It might have been 2 years ago. and I kept it sealed because I have collector brain when it comes to video games, trading card games, etc. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this bad boy up, break the seal that I've kept sealed for literally 2 years. 2 years I kept this sealed. But I want to open it for you guys on stream. We're gonna open, I think it'll be a cute little extra little piece of content to basically open a little door. I think advent calendars are super, super cute. The prizes aren't anything amazing, but it's just 13 gifts inside, you know? Countdown to Halloween. Ooh, spooky. Where's door number 1? We got 13, like 13. Okay. It's kind of based. I think this is from like Aldi or something. You just ruined $6,000. I think this was like $10 or $20. I can't imagine it actually held some sort of sealed value. Okay. Door number 1, bros. That's what we open, okay? Here, stay open, bro. Okay. Boom! Boom! Oh, it's Mimikyu! I don't know if it's randomized or if it's static or what the... Bro, what? Wait, it's actually kind of tough. I was kind of memeing, but... Wait, huh? I was kind of... Wait, I was playing it up for content at first, but it's actually... Okay. Okay. How many Mimikyu little figures are there? That's cute. All right, that's it. Day 1. See you for day 2. Alrighty, fellas. Time to make some more consistent Pokeyen. Time to start another trainer rerun. I went ahead and bought the amulet coin. We're going to pop that and get nice and started here. Should be a pretty simple run. We're starting with 367,000 Pokeyen. I will see you guys at the end of it. Should end around 580k, I think. 580, maybe 600k if we have some miraculous run for some reason. That'd be pretty based. We'll see. This is a great question. I'd love to hear like comments or feedback or other people's opinions on this. Do you have anything on your wish list for this upcoming Halloween event, alpha wise or cosmetics? I have to think about that a lot more, but off the top of my head, I don't think we have any Frankenstein face or Frankenstein stuff hilariously cosmetically in PokeMMO. That's kind of funny to me. Game's been out for like what, 12 years? No Frankenstein cosmetic? Come on, what are we doing? Skeleton wings are in the strings / like game code essentially. I like to see those released and hopefully actually look nice. Skeleton wings is a cool idea. Someone said hidden ability Alakazam. I like that a lot as well. Someone mentioned something about a Darkrai event, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if we could ever have Darkrai in PokeMMO. I think it might be too broken, in way too many things. For mine, what's the sleep move that he has called? Darkrai signature sleep move. He essentially has a move, Dark Void. It can put 2 opposing Pokemon to sleep. It targets all adjacent Pokemon and puts them to sleep. Is it a 100% accuracy or what's the accuracy on it? 50%. Yeah. So like this is what made Darkrai Ubers like in the past. Like he was so broken because of this move. I feel like I don't know if you can ever add Darkrai. It's too broken. Because even if you, so what happens is, even if you, maybe you have to delete, you have to like add Darkrai without having him being able to learn Dark Void. And then even then, you'd have to get rid of Dark Void on Smeargle as well. So that's like or just ban, it's so tough. It's so tough. Even if PokeMMO PvP has sleep clause, you can't put both to sleep. That's fair. Even if that's true, in PVM it would be broken. Like that would be broken for any sort of boss fight. People always say, oh, why don't you just add legendaries and then just ban them in PvP, forehead? And it's like we know, we've thought about that. It's not the first time it's been brought up. The reason you can't do that is because you also have an economy. You also have a PVM system. It stifles any PVM content you add in the future. Any raids, any dungeons, etc. all become stifled by unbalanced legendaries that were not created with that kind of content in mind, right? There's so many things to consider when adding Pokemon that are more powerful than the average Pokemon for the sake of being legendary and unique. I don't know. Maybe I'm too harsh. I don't really empathize with legendary fans too much. This is a harsh... I don't really feel this way, but I kind of feel this way. If your favorite Pokemon is a legendary Pokemon, I feel like maybe it's time to grow up. I don't know. That is mean. I don't know if I don't really feel this way, but like, I don't know. Like the whole point, the hipster in me is like, if someone said, hey, here's this really special, unique thing, I'd be like, yeah, fucking right. No, it's just because you said that. No, it's not. Like, But I don't know. I don't like legendaries are not cool to me. I don't think liking this big, scary, this powerful. I think it's boring. I think it's so boring. I don't like legendaries. I think them being your favorite Pokemon is like. It sounds so mean. The whole beautiful thing of Pokemon is like your favorite Pokemon can be whatever you want it to be, which is awesome. Except for legendaries, I will flame you. No, I'm just kidding, but I don't know. A little funny to me in my opinion. Wow, you do not see this very often. This guy is a Porygon Z shiny. I think most people either keep it a Porygon or a Porygon 2. I almost never see. This looks awesome. I almost never see the Porygon Z Sprite. That is super sick. Congrats to that guy. It's a great shiny. Someone in chat said I need a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon MMO. There is one. It's called, I actually did a video on it on my channel. It's very dead, unfortunately. Like less than, I would say, like 10 to 30 players online at a time. There is a core of a good game, though. I think it's called, like, Pokemon Mystery Universe? PMU? I recommend it. I think PMU, if you like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon and you want to try it in an MMO format, I don't know if it's really... The problem is I don't know if it's really an MMO. Like, there's no economy because it's, like, dead. I don't know if it really works, but... I would check out PMU. I think it's worth playing for a day or so at least, and then kind of go from there. It's been a while since I've done a food take, isn't it? Pumpkin pie, easiest food take in the world. Just demonstrously overrated. Pumpkin pie is the definition of like a C tier, arguably D tier pie. You want one slice a year with whipped cream to like make it eatable, and then that's it. You don't want any more. Like, you get a pumpkin pie for a family event, you drown it in some whipped cream, it's kind of good, and then you never want any more. You're done. You're done for the year. One slice a year, it's all you need. Pumpkin pie is just, when you have other options, it's just not even, it's not even the same category. It's like not even a pie. It's just not that good. Better pies, the GigaChad pies. Lemon meringue is clearly king of the castle, clearly rank 1. I'm getting fucked by the meme aggron. Oopsie. This is my pie karma. Lemon meringue is Omega S tier. Pecan pie, Omega S tier. Key lime pie, Omega S tier. Blueberry pie is pretty good. Cherry pie, all the fruit pies I really enjoy. Apple pie, overrated. Pretty, like, definition of C tier. Dutch apple pie, I don't know what the fuck you guys, I don't know how you figured it out, but Dutch apple pie is like 1,000 times better than just normal apple pie. More power to you. I'll take the L on that one and make your Dutch because it's so much better. Holy shit. I'm sorry. The one caveat to apple pie not being C tier is if you have a warm piece of apple pie with ice cream. That is actually so good. That actually might make it Uber's tier. But like plain whatever apple pie, it's just apple pie is pretty overrated in my opinion. All right, the amulet coin ran out. I got way too distracted talking about food and the game and just tons of other takes. So I didn't make the most Pokeyen per hour. We ended with 554,000, but it's not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. We should have some Pokeyen. What we can go do is we can go level up our Riolu to let us breed it, to then go ahead and get a nice Lucario. We might even EV train up and like train. Maybe we'll do a bit of EV training with the Lucario and such as well. We might do that. That'd be yeah. I feel like if we competitively train up the Riolu, keep in mind the Riolu breed cost around 48k, 50k or so. If we EV train it, it would sell for like 250k or so. But if we EV trained it, it would probably be a lot more. Probably an amount that might be worth it. Let's go ahead and let's double check. So this is what, well, sorry, I almost forgot. It depends on the nature. We'll have to see what the nature comes out as. Let's just go grab it, get it evolved, get it into a Lucario so people can actually find it on the GTL and know what to look for, etc., etc. We'll get cooking. All right, now that it's daytime and our Riolu is at 89% happiness, I should be able to just, I believe, pay this one Persian, gain 188 XP, and this should be enough. Yep, this should be enough to evolve it. Let's see. Don't need Vacuum Wave. Don't need Nasty Plot. It's physical only. You can go mixed or special on a Lucario. People were talking about that. Spidget did like I think it was like an hour-long video. Maybe it was, I don't remember. He did a video talking with a bunch of UU players about these changes. I really recommend checking that Spidget video out. I think it added a lot of insight. Like, videos like that are super important for money makers. I always say, even if you don't play PvP, following the PvP changes is so important because you know what Pokemon are exciting and hype, or kind of like the it Pokemon right now. So you know what to breed for profit or what to go catch for profit to make Pokeyen, right? So here we are. There's our Lucario. This is a special attack, right? Aura Sphere. Can I hover over it and see? Yeah, okay, I don't need that then. We're gonna go breed this. So we're gonna go take the SP share off, head over to Island 4, go buy the braces. Need a speed brace and an attack brace. The big thing will be what nature this comes out as. If it comes out as adamant or jolly, that's best case scenario. That is like unbelievably lucky. If it comes out as like naive, naughty, lonely, etc., maybe we could do something with it. That might depend a bit more. Just to show you, this is what it will look like. 2 times 31, 20 plus in every stat will come out as a Riolu. So we'll have to probably evolve it again to actually properly sell, but it depends how we'll go with it. We shouldn't have to pay for gender here, I don't believe. It shouldn't matter. Go ahead and collect it, put it in a Pokeball, let that bad boy hatch. We could even go like pick up and payday for profit while we're hatching this. What I might want to do, let me go check. I was gonna buy some mediocre comps to like stock up on UTs to go EV train, like, because whenever you EV train, you want to EV train like 4 or 5 Pokemon at once. It would be such a waste of time for me to go EV train and only EV train this one Riolu, right? Because if you have like 5 Pokemon, they all get the same amount of EVs. They're not split across like XP. Like XP training, if you gain 10,000 XP and 10,000 XP goes to 5 Pokemon, they each get like 2K, right? But with EV training, they all get 10. So you always want to EV train as many Pokemon as possible when you're EV training. Definitely trending a few Riolu later because the prices are crazy. Yes, if you aren't aware, what we're talking about is the there's a bunch of massive changes to UU, which unbanned a bunch of Pokemon. So things like Lucario, things like Blissey, things like Hippo, things like Togekiss, Staraptor is like tearing things up. There's a lot of like Pokemon that are newly destroying UU, so you want to take advantage of that, the hype, the excitement, and breed those like very it Pokemon and make some really nice profits. Because there's a massive surge of demand now. A bunch of UU players need these Pokemon, right? Yeah, Kabutops, right? Really good examples. Oh, this is a pretty good question. Kush Eagle asked how recent were those changes. I think they happened about yesterday. PvP changes usually happen at like the end of a month. They usually do like tier changes and percentage changes at the end of a month. So always check the PvP, the competition alley, competitive alley on the Pokemon forums at like the end or at the end/beginning of each month, and there will be some PvP changes which will tell you which Pokemon to breed for profit essentially. Yeah, some PvP rewards can't be sold, right? I'd say most PvP rewards can't be traded or sold from my understanding. And as much as someone asked, like, does PvP make good money? And it's pretty infamous, like, PvP does not make good money in PokeMMO. And I think there's a really good argument for, like, it doesn't need to make that much money. Like, I wouldn't want PvP to be, like, the best money maker in PokeMMO. Like, PvP is kind of what you make money to get PvP mons to play PvP. You're doing it for the fun, for the enjoyment of the game. Like, that's the end game content for a lot of people, right? At the same time, it wouldn't hurt if it was, it wouldn't hurt if PvP players maybe got thrown a bone, in terms of rewards. PvP players hilariously get the most content in the game. It may not seem like it if you're a PvP player, but like you guys get tournaments every single day, PvP changes every single month. You have a tier council dedicated to balancing your game. Like PvP literally has the most amount of resources dedicated to it in the entire game. However, the rewards are still trash. The rewards are still so embarrassingly bad. There is nothing funnier than going on like an 8-game win streak and being like, hell yeah, 3 untradeable miracle seeds. Like it's pretty. They like the PvP rewards are laughably bad. Laughably bad in my opinion. The Riolu hatched. I haven't checked it. We're going to check the nature roll together. We're hoping for Adamant or Jolly. That would be like unbelievably lucky. Timid, not what we want at all, but that's okay. We'll still take it. Still an incredible breed. I think we high rolled defense 30, which is nice. Terrible nature. I mean, this will just become a breeder essentially. So what I'll probably do is, can I sell this as a Riolu? Let's check the price difference. If I don't have to like level it up and evolve it, that would be nice to save time. But maybe it doesn't even matter. If I sold this as a Riolu, this one's adamant, I would probably end up selling this for like 200k, maybe 180. Isn't timid usable? Not an. It's the exact opposite nature you want on a physical Pokemon. It's a special attacking nature. You can run special attack on Lucario, but it's not IV. You wouldn't do it on this build, guys. It's not IV'd for that. You have to understand like each Pokemon. Anyways, I'd probably go 180k on this. I feel like that'd be like the quick sell. Let's check Lucario and see if it's like worth. Ooh, wait a minute. Wait, oh, this is a flip. Wait, I might. Ooh, do I buy this for the flip? I think I do. I think I do. I think I do. I think I do. I think I buy it to flip. That might be. I think no. I think it's a good flip. I think it's a flip. I think it's 100% a flip. I think what I do is, oh, this one's 190. So I don't know if the baby Riolu will ever sell. Well, oh, that's so tough actually. The timid nature. I think okay. Let's go back to the PC. Keep in mind, I paid 48K to breed this Riolu, right? So I don't need to get that insane of a profit out of it. I'm going to collect this to my party. I think I just sell this for 150. I think 150 is fair. I'm literally tripling my profit. I don't need to be greedy. I need to. It's the beginning stages of my rebuild. I'd rather have the Pokeyen than like try to greed out every little extra cent by being patient. I could do that, but like, okay. Then we have this Lucario we just bought for we just bought this for 70K or whatever. What was it? We'll do 31, 20 plus. I don't know if this might just go for a similar price. I can't believe this was 70K. That's kind of wild. I think this goes for a similar price. Yeah, I'm going to go 150 on it. Let's see if anybody bites. Okay, so that's 300K expected coming in, but those flips might fail. We'll have to see. We'll have to play those by ear. That is like an excitement sort of thing with what's going on. We'll really have to see what's happening. So we'll see if those sell. But I think for now, I think it's going to be the end of the stream today, guys. We didn't do many like creative money-making methods. A lot of today was consistency, and a lot of these days might be consistency. I mean, I really do want to show you guys, you can make a lot of Pokeyen if you're just consistent. If you just wake up, do your Jimmy run, do the boring stuff, trainer reruns, berry farming, etc. If you just get those done 2.5 hours a day, you'll make plenty of Pokeyen. Then you can shiny hunt or do whatever you want with the rest of your time, right? Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully it was fun. And we talked a lot about other things other than just money making methods. If you guys did enjoy the video, please always make sure to like the video. It's so easy and it helps me out tremendously. Dislike if you don't enjoy. If the video did not hit for you today, if it wasn't helpful, if it just wasn't enjoyable, it was too negative, dislike. I think it's important to get your genuine feedback. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. Follow me on Twitch for streams Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's down below if you're interested in joining that community. If you want to go above and beyond and support the content. YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo donations go a very long way, as well as Factor. If you want to get yourself some healthy food, take the guesswork out of what's healthy and what's convenient, just get it all taken. You're basically paying to get it taken care of for you. It does your grocery shopping. They send you meals just ready to, you put them in the microwave for 2 minutes, heat them up, you put them in the oven if you want. I like the convenience and the quick. If I'm working and I want to, like, as someone who is, you know, self-employed, my time is money. If I can pop a meal in the microwave, not have to cook and not have to do things, and not die by 40 and like eat a healthy meal and like cook it in 2 minutes, I can get back to work and make more money. That saves me a lot of time, a lot of stress, whatever. I love Factor. Check it out. Link in the description if you want to. It supports the stream aggressively as well. It's probably the best way to support the stream, and you get food for it. So thanks for watching. I will see you guys later. Have a great day. Enjoy PokeMMO. Peace, Reno. Hey, thanks so much for watching until the very end of the video. That really means the world to me, and it means even more worlds to me if you go above and beyond and support my content financially like all of these lovely people have done. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.